What a great win for our program versus a very good East Carolina football team. Their record does not indicate how good they are. They're 0-3 now, but I have a lot of respect for Coach Houston, the way he runs his program, the way he recruits. That's a tough team. They're going to win a lot of games. But I'm proud of our football team. I'm really proud of our defense. They gave up 14 points all day, and the offense didn't help them out much. But you flip it there, and we have 465 yards of offense, 224 yards rushing. That's a good day for football. And I just want to thank the fans. We can't thank you enough for tying the all-time attendance record here at App State. The students were incredible. That's what we have to be successful. And the students brought the energy all day long, and I can't be more proud of our program the way we performed.
Questions? Coach Skip Foreman, Winston-Salem Journal.
We need the mic. Good.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry.
Skip Foreman, Winston-Salem Journal. Is it on?
Yeah.
Good. You have to. This is the second time at home you've had to sort of come back in the third quarter to try to overcome things. Is that a concern after 3 games, or are you just content to work out the kinks and get to it later?
That's who we are. Again, that's the Mountaineer pride we have in ourselves. It's 4 quarters, and our players came out and competed. We made some mistakes in the first half, coaching-wise, player-wise, but you look at that, there was never a doubt in our locker room who's going to win the football game. Our players were committed to each other, and we're a very connected football team. And a connected football team is a dangerous football team, and I like where we are right now. And the way they communicate in the locker room, the love they have for each other, man, that's what's going to make this team special. We have a long way to go. We have a lot to improve on. But, man, just the way they represent this university, the way they represent App State football, I can't be more proud of who we are right now.
David Ware, 24/7 Sports. Shawn, you go in at halftime. What's the message there? What are you guys trying to get across to the team?
What was the score at halftime? I don't remember right now.
You were down 21-16.
Some of those are self-inflicted wounds. There was some play calling, some execution. But we talked about winning the middleweight. We went down there and we scored right there after the second half. And we kind of got behind. We were chasing points in some ways. We went for 2 there in the second quarter to make it a field goal. And then we went for it again 2 to get back to go up 3. But we have a sequence we do, and we have to score touchdowns. And when that situation happens, I'm not scared to call a 2-point conversion. We're not scared to go for it on 4th down because, man, points matter. Field goals do not win football games. You look all across the country right now, and if you go field goals, you're going to get beat. So we want to be aggressive. But, again, I'm just so proud of our football team, the way we performed.
Offensively, you guys were certainly committed to taking your big shots down the field, the way their safeties play. That makes sense. Coming out of halftime, it felt like maybe you guys adjusted a little bit and said, hey, let's take some of this intermediate stuff they're giving us, and it felt like maybe that opened up some of those shots.
It did. If you go back and look at it, anytime we had a first down, the next play was a pressure play. And it was almost secret. You could see it verbatim how it was working out, and a lot of credit goes to our staff for making some adjustments. If they were thinking pass, they were going to roll into a too high safety look, and the middle was open. And with the play action we have, and those are the concepts we have, the crossing routes. We hit David Larkin across the middle for a big first down, but you have to take what the defense gives you. And I thought Coach Ponce did a great job of handling the offense the way we performed tonight.
Similar question on the defensive side. Second half, they ran 25 plays for 42 total yards.
Is that good?
It seems like it's probably the kind of number you could live with, but what did Scott Sloan do at halftime to make adjustments?
You go back after the first series, take the first series out of it. We kind of settled in to what we had to do, and really that's a gap integrity. They went some tackle over on us and some unbalance, and we had to make sure we fit the gaps right. And once we got that squared away, our defense played lights out. And you look at the line of scrimmage. I mean, those guys were playing incredible. We went to the transfer portal, got Big Mike Fletcher and Sean Collins and Santana Hopper, the way he's performed. The list goes TD, Thomas Davis, Nate Johnson. That's a true freshman, number 90, and he's 6'5", probably about $190 right now. But he's got big time talent, and our secondary has been playing great. Nick Ross had a pick, the favorites have a pick. And then Amari Filia came in and made a big pick there. But we go against that defense every single day, and I know what they're capable of, and they just play up to the expectations of App State football.
Marvin Parker, ABC Asheville. I'm going to try to do a concise two-parter with one. It seemed like momentum was just impossible to find for both teams. How is that coaching when you try to catch some momentum and it's just not there throughout? And then two, Noel going for 192, 3 straight games over 110, 115, 25 rushing attempts. Is that your goal for him at 25?
I want 100 if we could, but I mean we can't do that. But I'm trying to remember the question you had. What was the question one more time? I'm sorry, you got me off sequence.
Trying to find momentum, and it's not there.
Yeah, momentum's a big thing in college football, and once they took the opening drive down and scored 7 points, then the offense came right back and answered. So it's kind of swinging the momentum, and then some of those fourth downs we go for. We're very consistent going for it on fourth down because it keeps drives alive and able to score touchdowns. And the one on the 4th and 6, we're in no man's land. If you punt it, it's 15-yard gain if it goes in the end zone. If you go for it, you're giving up 15 yards. And we call it a great play, and we just had poor execution. But I would go back to Deshaun Davis every single time on that play. He's a great playmaker. He just didn't make the catch. And that happens, but we grabbed him on the sideline and said, you're going to make a big play this game, and he went out and played himself. He blocked very well today.
David Jones, Foothills Radio Group. Coach, 95 yards in the first half, on the ground, 224 for the game. How much were the O-linemen clamoring at halftime to run the football, asking for that versus what your coaches were looking to make adjustments on the ground anyway? I know Isaiah Helms wanting to pound the football. What was the O-line saying at the intermission?
Well, you probably know this more than anybody. UPS, you just deliver the package when you go after it. So, no, it's I'm very proud of our offensive line. I'm very proud of the way they performed. Again, we lost, 2 players who played in the National Football League, Anderson Hardy and Cooper Hodges, and we had to replace those with Markel Samuel. Markel Samuel was not even a starter when camp started. And then we had to switch over Jack Murphy from left to right, and those guys are getting better day by day. And Coach Cummings coaches those guys very hard. He coaches them hard. He loves them harder. And those guys play for you. When I was offensive line coach here, I coached my guys hard as possibly could be, but they know I loved them. And they would run through a wall for me. And that's where we're getting back to right now. But, we're going to run the ball when we can. I think it was evident in the fourth quarter that we were able to impose our will and run the football. And you have to be able to do that. You look back at the great teams we had back in the 17, 18, 19, we could do that. And I think a lot of credit goes to Matt Greenhall and his strength staff. We've gotten bigger, stronger, faster, and we're able to impose our will in the fourth quarter.
Hey, Coach. Patrick McCormick with Talking Democrat. Last game, it seemed like Joey had really focused on Deshaun Davis, and this game he spread the ball around a little bit more. How heartening as a coach is it to see that?
Buddy, if you talk about Joey, your guess is as good as mine. Joey is a great quarterback, and he's getting better every single time he plays the game. And Joey has a great attitude as far as if he makes a bad play, he doesn't let it linger. He goes out and makes the next play. And, we have certain plays for certain players. And if his first progression is not there, he throws the second progression. And I think today he got to his third progression on some plays. And, again, he can't do that with a really good offensive line. And running backs and tight ends who block and, give up the limelight to do their job, make sure the guys are open down the field.
Awesome. Last one from me will be Alex Finn wasn't the starter for the first 2 weeks for ECU. Was it a little odd having not a lot of game film of him coming into this game?
No, not really. The same with social media. You find out everything before it happens. So we knew he was going to be the quarterback. Great quarterback. He makes some throws today. He's tough. Garcia's tough. There's 2 different football players. Garcia is 6'5", almost 250 pounds that run the quarterback. You look at the Marshall game, he had 128 yards after contact. And Flynn comes in, and he's more of a gunslinger and throws it. And he made some great plays for East Carolina today. But we knew what we were getting in both. We do a film study throughout the season, and that starts back in the summertime before we go on vacation. So we have a 4-game breakdown on all of our opponents. And if it's new coordinators, we know where they came from, what they run. So, again, a lot of credit goes to our staff, the way they addressed the situation and made adjustments.
Coach, Ethan Smith, the Appalachian. Nate Noel had another monster game today. Can you just talk a little bit about the impact he's had on this team?
Everything. And Nate Noel is what an App State football player is about. He's tough. He's dedicated. He makes great grades, and you can count on him. And I think Nate will speak. If Nate's here, where you Nate here, Nate? I think he'll speak of his work ethic in the off season. And this is a kid that came in and gained almost 20 pounds in the off season of straight muscle. There's not a piece of fat on him. But he knew what he had to do to make himself successful and make our team successful. And all the credit goes to him for all the hard work he put in the offseason. If he could run the ball 50 times a game, we'll give it to him 50 times a game. So, again, you have to have running backs. You look at, we had Haywood and then Kanye Roberts ran the ball well today. He fumbled, but we'll get that corrected. But we have a stable of running backs, and we're going to need every single one, plus Anderson Castle when he gets back to be successful this year. But those guys come to work. They don't care who gets the credit. They don't care how many carries they get. They care about the team and winning, and that's what makes that group special.
How important is it to win a game when you're going up against an in-state rival that you're on the recruiting trail against and all of those kinds of things?
It's very important. What's really important is to play these kind of games. I'm not sure who's in charge. I know Doug Gillen, our athletic director, is trying every Power 5 school, every Group of 5 school, every FCS team to play this kind of games. We had 40,000 plus out here in the rain, and those guys, our fan base showed up. East Carolina's fan base showed up. And we're talking about fan experience. We're talking about doing all the right things for college football. And that's what college football is about. And that's what it's about. And I have a lot of respect for Coach Houston and East Carolina, how he do things. He's a professional. He does all the right things in recruiting. But it does mean something. Whenever you win an in-state game, then that's important because that's, I wouldn't say bragging rights, but it means, man, you're better than that program that day, which helps in recruiting, which helps in everything, every facet of our football game. And I know what we're doing here as our program, how we're building a new indoor facility, the tower next door. Man, great things are happening at App State. They are. And we're not done yet. And it's my goal to be here for a long time to see it come to fruition. So, again, it's a great win, but really, man, it's about the fan base. They drove 4 hours up here to Boone. Who the hell's going to drive to Dallas, Texas to watch them play SMU? I don't get it. But that's way above my pay scale. But that's what college football is about. Those kind of in-state games, national rivalries. Man, what are we doing? I'm not that smart, but I know I'm smart to have those two games on the schedule every single year.
Take the last question here.
David Rogers, High Country Sports. Two related questions. One, how did the team come out health-wise today? And the second question, which is follow-up, is what's the diagnosis or prognosis for Anderson Castle? Any timeline there?
Anderson Castle's right on par. We're hoping to get him back. He's walking now. Hopefully for next week we can get him out of his boot. The tight ends room is banged up right now. They are banged up. We had, Miller Gibbs didn't play today. Eli Wilson went out. We have Augie Drews. We have Kanan in there. Man, those guys stepped up. And the one I'm most proud of, and no one even knows what I'm talking about right now, is David Larkin. David Larkin, he's from Cincinnati, Ohio. He came in here. He's going to be a great player. He battled a torn hamstring. He battled a dislocated shoulder. He battled a dislocated elbow. Today was his first day back, all right, playing college football. He didn't play hardly any in fall camp. And his shoulder, forgot about his shoulder too. And he came out, he had some big-time plays. But his number was called. He stepped up, and he had the grit to go out and play when he's sore, play when he's tired. And, man, that's what it's about. That's what makes this program special. It doesn't matter who gets the credit, whoever wins. We want to win football games as a group, and that's where we are right now.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Again, thanks again for the students. Man, it's incredible. Fans, incredible. We need you again, Coastal Carolina, in a few weeks. So thank you, and go App.